It's time!
Oh yeah, it's time for Miss Lou Champion Sports Talk with me, Ronnie Calhoun, and the legend, Joey Martin. It's entertaining, informative, and sometimes a little crazy.
These two guys when I had hair.
For me, it was just all about being coachable, being approachable, being a good team guy, and being what I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be.
Where they getting the hair from?
I think they took it from his lower back.
Okay.
And they moved it to the top. Hey guys, before we get started, we want to tell you about our champion partners. Gregg Vet Clinic, Hicks Chicks, Syrah Technologies, Kenny Chesney's Blue Chair Bay Rum, J&J Flooring and Natural Stone, Concordia Bank, and all of our awesome partners that you see on the screen right now. Make sure to do business with them and tell them Miss Lou Champion sent you. Enjoy the show. All right, guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. Back with my man Joey Martin after a couple of weeks off for the holidays. How was your holiday?
Good. How about you?
It was great, man. Stayed on the road a lot, but it was all good.
Awesome.
So,
Being right in the middle of the week was just.
I know.
I could figure out what day.
I didn't know what day it was for like 14 days in a row, but
Monday again.
yeah. But Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to all the viewers out there. Welcome back to Champion Sports Talk in 2025. As always, we're brought to you by Magnolia Bluff Casino. Make sure to catch all the big games down there. Playoffs are coming up. Great opportunity to go down there and get some good food and watch the playoffs. And as always, we're driven by Sango GMC. Go visit our buddy Mark Sanguinetti over there and his champion team over in Winsboro, and they'll get you right in the new year. So for all of your new and used car needs, thank you to all of our awesome partners, including Concordia Sentinel. And thank you most of all to all of our veterans and military men and women serving all over the world, especially during the holidays that just went. We were thinking about you and thinking about you in the new year. Man, we got a champion show today. We got ACCS quarterback Coleman Carter, great young man. Yeah, looking forward to what he's got to say. He's a state championship winner. And state championship winner, I think, in some sport and some track events and stuff too.
Yeah.
And recently signed with the Raging Cajuns, ULL. So looking forward to hearing from that. But before we get Coleman on we got some local
basketball going on.
Okay, let's hear about it.
Today was playing in the Ouachita tournament Thursday today against Ouachita, Don Redden tournament. And they got beat pretty soundly, but Ouachita's 5A, really good state contender. And Carl Malone's grandson, he's one of the players on their team, Darren Ford, and he's committed to Oklahoma State. But it ended up 89-42. But they had a little run in there, but there's no way they were going to. I think they had 23 turnovers in the game. So anyway, they're still they tipped off District 2 3A play with a win over Buckeye to improve to 8-12. They're 8-13 now. Lady Vikings lost 59-40. Now, Vidalia Lady Vikings today, which is Thursday, is going to play at Oak Grove.
Okay.
The girls, since Vidalia's in a tournament. Oak Grove has Caroline Bradley. I don't know if she's 6'5", a sophomore.
Oh, goodness.
She has already been offered by South Carolina, LSU, and a bunch of others. Number 5 player for 2027.
Okay.
So they have their hands full. So
He's 6'5".
Yeah, she's and she can handle a basketball. So yeah,
I think I've read about her. I think I've seen
she's
some stuff about her.
Her brother played quarterback on the football team. But anyway, Delta Charter boys got a win over LaSalle Tuesday in Faraday. Lady Storm fell. But poor Richie Spears took over a tough situation because they've been rebuilding like 2 years. But if anybody can make something out of it, he can. But they're still young, kind of like Monterey. They're also just. It's like Eric Richard said. We're just trying to get better. It's what we are right now. But it's those cycles. Faraday boys looking really good. Number 2 in the state in their district. 16-3, and they're playing well. They play at Delta Charter Friday. Lady girls are 6-4. They're number 13. Cathedral girls 14-6, and they're playing Franklin today, and they have Bowling Green home Saturday. Boys are 3-6. So, and our good friend at Natchez High, they're doing really well. The boys are 13-5. The girls are 14-5, and they're both 3-0 in district. So hopefully they'll continue. They just got wins over Provine. AC boys still playing well. I think they've lost only 5 games, and their district really kicks up in the MAIS. So be interesting to see what happens there.
We're starting to get there in basketball.
Yeah.
Starting to get closer to the
Absolutely.
Yeah. So sounds like we got some good teams in the area.
We got 2 or 3 who can
competitive
make some noise. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, I guess of all the teams in the area right now, boys and girls, that Faraday, as far as state, like really rolling, that
Right.
Faraday team's looking really good right
And they're
now.
young still.
Yeah.
So that's for the next 2 or 3 years they're going to be. But you're right. They're as good as anybody in their division.
Yeah, and it sounds like we've got some competitive teams in the area that might make some noise in the playoffs.
Right.
So boys and girls. So anything else locally before we get Coleman?
We've got the National Football Foundation banquet next month, February. I believe it's the 20th. And Ben Brown, who plays with the Patriots, played at Ole Miss, is going to be the speaker. Went to St. Al, and his uncle Tim Brown spoke earlier and did a great job there. So really looking forward to that.
Okay, when is that? Because I know I went last year.
Yeah, February 20th at the St. Mary's Family Center.
Is that something that you have to be a member for, or
no? Anybody's in. You can buy a ticket, and we may try and get one of the members on to talk about it coming up.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know how they would get tickets now, or not? It's okay if not.
Yeah, I mean we can get it out there.
Okay.
I'm sure you can go through if you Freddie Sandel or Walt Brown.
Walt Brown. Okay.
Be a good one to
get
in touch with.
Okay. I'll get in touch with Walt and get another. I've been wanting to become a member of that anyway, so I'm gonna do that.
Tony Burns, another person.
Oh man, one of my favorites right there, man. I love Mr. Tony. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That was a great event last year, and I remember one of the guys that was protecting Coleman that junior year. I remember last year he stood up and won the ACCS offensive lineman. He stood up to win the award. And everybody in the room said, "Oh my goodness, that's a big old boy right there." So
definitely.
Where is he at now? Do you know where he's at?
I'm trying to think. Southern Miss. I think he went to Southern Miss.
Okay, man. I was like, everybody in the room was thinking, I would not want to have to get around that guy. So
but just best of luck to everybody.
Yeah.
Just it's going past fast.
Yeah.
We'll be talking playoffs next month.
Yeah, and we'll be here with baseball before we know it,
right?
And softball, so some of the public softball. So
right.
Anyway, is that everything we got?
I ought to do it for that.
All right, man. Well, we're
going to Coleman.
Yeah, we'll be right back after a quick break with Coleman Carter.
Playtime, game time. Anytime is a good time at Magnolia Bluffs Casino Hotel. 'Tis the season for winning at Magnolia Bluffs Casino Hotel. It's always a good time. Visit magnoliabluffscasino.com.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
Guys, Ronnie and Shannon here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight.
And we're here at our amazing partners, Gregg Veterinary Hospital.
Gregg Veterinary Hospital has been providing comprehensive, reliable, cutting-edge veterinary services to pets in the Miss Lou since 2002.
They welcome pets of all shapes and sizes who are in need of emergency treatment or who require routine medical, surgical, and dental care.
Dr. Gregg and his team offer a long list of services, including in-house laboratory diagnostics, digital x-ray, soft tissue, orthopedic surgery, dental care, extractions, laser surgery, laser therapy, preventative health, and wellness plans.
And if you need grooming and boarding services, they do that too.
So call Gregg Vet today.
Hi, it's
Shannon with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight. If you like what we're doing, be sure to follow, like, share, and even comment on all our content. Also, visit MissLouChampions.com to sign up for our newsletter and to receive other information, as well as the opportunity to receive some awesome prizes. Thank you, Miss Lou, for your continued support, and as always, have a champion day.
All right, guys, we are back in the studio with our buddy Coleman Carter. And how are you, man?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming out. Joey's been wanting to have you for a little while to talk some ball, and I knew you from youth leadership, and we were just talking about off air. My buddy Tate, who I taught in junior high. So interested to learn more about you and everything. Joey, you want to get the ball started?
Yeah, let's start off.
Rolling.
Coleman, talking about the recruiting process you went through.
Sir, well, I always wanted to play baseball my whole life, and then when I left Cathedral and went to AC after my 8th grade year, I got held back at AC. That's why I kind of like fell in love with football a little bit, and I started really liking it. And I started really getting into it, and I know I wanted to play college, but I just kind of was slow at first. But I got my first one after a spring game, my 10th grade year. Coleman offered me, and I was really excited, and I was really happy. And then that summer, going into my junior year, I got like pretty much like every JUCO in the state offered me, and then after that, kind of started picking up. And then after like a couple games into my junior year, Toledo offered me. They were my first D1 offer. Came to watch me throw, and
that's where RJ Fleming is, right?
Yes, sir. And they offered me, and kind of like got big from there. I went on a visit to Coastal Carolina after that, and it just like kept coming. And D1 started coming, but I want to stay close to home. So whenever UL offered me, and they're a really good school, they put guys in the NFL and compete for the championship. So I was like, oh, this is where I want to be. And I just committed as soon as they offered me. So.
Everybody thinks it's so cool, and it is. But does it get to a point where you're like, I'll be glad when this is over with?
The coach is just texting you, just like 5 coaches a day just texting you, and I was like, oh gosh. Just ready to get this over.
It's hard telling people no, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. They call on you every day, and like, what are you thinking? I'm just like, well, I don't know. It's hard, yes, sir, but it's fun too. I remember it, like all of it. It was fun, yes, sir.
And getting that out of the way early, I think, was a great move for you.
Yes, sir. It was. As soon as they offered me, that's where I wanted to be. So I just committed right there. All the coaches that offered me I called all the coaches that offered me throughout my career, and I told them, I was like, thanks for giving me the chance, but that's where I want to be at. And they all understood, yes, sir.
Yeah. So you every time that we have to make a decision in life, there's always variables and different things way different for different people.
Yes, sir.
What were your things that you were looking for in a school that meant the most to you?
I know I want to stay close to home, and I wanted to have a chance to play my freshman year. And UL, they're starting quarterback and their backup were both redshirt seniors, so I knew they were both going to be gone. And I know it's going to have a chance coming in to play. And coaches there, I mean, they're awesome, all of them, and everything right. I played 7-on-7 with some guys that are going there also, so I knew some guys that are going there, and we want to build something that's different there and win some championships. I knew that's where I wanted to be. Yes, sir.
Yeah. How big a factor does the coach play in your final pick? I mean, obviously Coach Dez is well respected and a great coach. Does that play a big part?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he coached with Billy Napier for a while. He's at Florida now. He's doing good. Coach Dez played quarterback in the NFL, so he knows a lot about quarterbacks. He's like the main quarterback coach, and he calls the plays at UL. So I talked to him like every day for like a couple of months, and that's where he offered me. I was like, I'm gonna come for sure. And Coach Bergeron, he's my recruiter in this area. And he knows. I mean, he played baseball with Jake Winston. He was my baseball coach for 4 years at AC. So he knew some guys that I've been playing for, and just all the coaches there. It was an easy decision. Yes, sir.
What kind of mindset is it going in? Because I mean, for several years, you've been the man who you knew that you were the starter, you were the leader, and all of that. What kind of mindset is it going into a new environment where you're just a guy in the locker room right now, and you're in a quarterback room with other very talented quarterbacks? You just had what's from Ole Miss, Walker Howard.
Yes,
so how do you play that role going forward?
Oh yeah. Yeah, put in some more work for sure and be ready to go in and compete. And cause I mean, I watched Walker Howard throughout high school. I remember he was like a 5-star at high school. I want him to go to LSU so bad. Now it's like I'm playing with him. It was weird. I was hanging out with him, but yeah, you got to go in and compete and put in a lot more work for sure. I went and worked out with Ricky Collins Monday down in Baton Rouge, and he transferred to Syracuse from LSU now. And working out with him, and I realized I was like, I can definitely play at this level working out with him, and I just know I got to go and compete and work twice as hard and be ready, and just guys got a plan. We'll see what happens. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Any thoughts of maybe trying for baseball too?
I've thought about it a little bit. But we'll see. I don't know yet for sure.
Maybe as a junior. Or
Yeah,
something.
It's a little tougher at that
Yeah,
college level.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So going back to that confidence, where's your confidence level? Sounds like you feel pretty good about going in, and
I mean, if I don't play, I might. We'll see. But I know I feel like I'm talented enough to go in and play. But if I don't, I mean, the guys earned it too. So
you feel good about being able to compete at that level, though.
I feel like I can play at that level. Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's go back to your AC days. Winning state championship last year. How cool was that?
AC, I mean, I would do anything for that school. They would do anything for me. I'm definitely glad of the decision I made to go there after my 8th grade year. I love that place, Coach King. I mean, always wanted to play for a good coach. And I mean, look at the record book. He pretty much wrote the record book. He got like all the records. He's the best. He'd do anything for me. I'd do anything for him. Every time I talk about football, I tell him I give up the next 4 years to UL just to be able to play for him one more time. He's awesome. And last year, that state championship run, I'll remember that for my entire life. That was the best time. I remember really like the last season playoffs, traveling every game to go play, and we just like upset everybody. And it was awesome. It was definitely the most fun I've had so far playing football. All my friends, I remember that like those final knees, like I've been kneaded out in 3rd round, 2nd round championship was the best feeling ever.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, you knew it would be tough repeating. It always is for anybody, but
we lost 8 really good seniors last year. I think 6 of them play college football. So we lost, and it was 4 of them were 4 of the 5 were linemen. So we lost.
Yeah.
That hurt a little bit, and our 2 best receivers. So we had a team to do it this year. It just wasn't meant to be.
had a couple of key injuries too, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Tate was out. I only played like 3 games. Adrian Walker only played like 3 games. A bunch of guys were out. We lost by 1 point. We should have won. I think we had like 400 some yards, and the first round playoff. Our team only had like 100 something. But at the end of the day, they won. But,
So winning a state championship your junior year, and then falling short in the playoffs your senior year, right? What lessons do you think that you've learned from that moving forward in ball? Because you've seen the highs and then you felt the disappointment. Are there some lessons in there?
For sure. No matter how like good you think your team is, I mean, I still have to play y'all's best. Everybody has bad games, everybody has good games, which is a bad game. I feel like we could have beat that team 9 out of 10 times. We played them again. It was just one of those nights. It's just what it meant to be. It hurt. That was probably the worst one ever. Coach King always says, like, you remember the losses more than the wins. I'll definitely remember that one more than any other one. Hurt the last one, but yes, sir. I remember that one.
Yeah. Well, I think also going back to the championship year, one of the lessons that I see out of that is that you guys weren't, I guess, the favorites.
Yeah.
And you took down a lot of
big teams.
Took down a lot of big teams on that run.
We'd be like the number 1, 3, and 4 seed in the playoffs. We were like 12 or 10 or something like that. But yeah, that was fun. I know at the beginning, before the season started, I knew we had like a really good team, like one of the best teams we've had for sure. Because we had like a bunch of guys going to play college football. And at the beginning of the season, we were the favorites. And we played Jackson Prep early on in the season, and they were like one of the best 6A teams. And it was like 10-6 middle of the 4th quarter, so I knew we could compete with our dish, like 5A. And we got upset bad to a team we should have beat by like 4 touchdowns, and everybody was like, "Oh man!" I played Parkland Academy. They beat us by like 2 points at our place. That's after that game. I remember everybody was posting like some stuff from Parkland. I was like, "Please God, let us play them again."
Yeah.
So we played them 2nd round of playoffs, and I knew we were gonna win. I knew we were gonna beat them that game. After that, we beat them. I was like, nobody's beating us now. We're gonna have this.
It's funny how teams just catch that confidence, and it's like
we were just won like
I
don't even know. We won like 7 straight. We should just beating everybody.
Yeah,
we knew we could do it. We had some really good leaders that year. So we had the team. Yes, sir.
Well, Joey, about halfway through that year, I think you guys lost 2 in a row, but I remember Joey on our show saying, "Hey, man." I think it was like the last time Coach King had won a championship or something. He had lost 2 in a row or something. There was some kind of weird thing there, and Joey was like, "Don't count them out yet." And sure enough, each week you guys started getting better and better. And Joey's like, "They're starting to heat up." And so, I mean, he called it about – it was after the 2 losses that
talk about highs and lows that year. We played Oak Forest that year, and we had Coach Spears and Coach King for so many years. He went to Oak Forest that year, and we were playing them. We were 4-1. We were the favorites to win it at that time, and they were beating us like 31-7 going into halftime.
Wow.
I can remember just looking at the scoreboard. I was like, man, I thought we were good. I don't know. I guess we're not good anymore. And then we're just sitting there at halftime, and me and another senior on that team that year, I was a junior, Jordan Bear, we started talking. We're like, we got to do something. So we stood up, we started talking. Coach Jenna gave us a big speech, came out of halftime. We were like, let's go make it happen. And we came back and won 43-38. And that was a game I always remember. And
That's wow.
We were on it was from a high right there to getting that's when we got upset the next week. Like that team we should have won by 4 touchdowns. Went from that high to losing 2 in a row. We had to get back focused, and nobody was gonna beat us after that.
Yeah.
But, and then to win every playoff game on the road, what was the key to that?
We just got to stay focused. We were literally leaving school every 10 a.m. to just travel every game. First round of playoffs went to Bayou. It's 5.5 hours. Went there. It was a good game. It was 21-20 halftime, and then we shut them out second half, put up 28, and then the big one. Parkland, we knew that was going to be everyone that was going to win the state championship. And we knew we had the best drive I've ever had in my career. We had 11 minutes left. We ran the whole clock down to a second, and we scored. It was awesome. And then that was a really good game too. I remember that game. We scored 2-minute drive, went and scored. End of the game, won that. And the team we played in state that year, we already played them earlier that year. We beat them pretty bad, so we knew we were gonna probably win them. Yeah.
And yes, I watched y'all play 7-on-7 every day. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
And I was just in awe of some of the passes you were throwing there. But how did 7-on-7 help you?
I mean, it helps me read the defense a little bit better, and that's kind of before the season. That's how I kind of figure out the guy I want to throw it to the most during the season.
Okay.
And so 7-on-7 this summer is always fun. We show up to the 7-on-7s at the colleges. Yeah, everybody shows up. Some teams show up with 70 players. We show up with 10 guys, just going there to play football. Everybody's like, man, this team ain't finna be nobody. I tell them, if you just score points on offense and get stops on defense, you're going to win every game. And I told the defense, if y'all just give me one stop a game, we're going to win every game. And we beat everybody. That's what's crazy. We played Brandon High School, and they had 80 players out there. We had 11, maybe 10 or 11. We beat them 40-8. It's just everybody. It's just 7-on-7 definitely. It's fun.
Only 7 players on the field at one time.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We had guys going both ways the whole time. They're subbing somebody in the head. I mean, it's crazy. But that 7-on-7 by day, that was definitely. We've been wanting to play Natchez for a while, so I'm glad we got to play them over there. We won at the end. That was fun.
Let's go to Joey brought up recruiting a while ago. Let's kind of go into, just for our audience members, what is a recruiting trip like and stuff like that? I mean, how does all that stuff?
It would travel depends on the location. I went on a visit to Coastal Carolina. They flew us to Atlanta, then we flew to Myrtle Beach, and I mean,
they roll out the red carpet for you.
It was really pretty. It was that was probably the prettiest place I went to. I mean, it was you fly and you see. I love golf too, and we fly. You see golf courses everywhere. You can see the beach. It was crazy, and all the facilities were nice. But yes, sir. And then I went to Jonesboro, Arkansas State, and I mean, they had a really pretty stadium. My favorite for sure was UL. It was the best for sure. The food was probably. I was like, I gotta come here.
Well, all the LSU guys are always saying the hardest part about coming to LSU is not putting on weight because some of these guys come from other places. They're like they've never eaten like this.
No, it's crazy.
Lafayette's got some food.
They definitely put the red carpet for me everywhere. It was definitely the best.
Does everybody kind of give you the same sales pitch, or did everybody kind of come at you from a different angle? Or
well, one school was kind of saying that they wanted me redshirt the first year, and Coach Dez was like, "If you come in and compete and you're better than everybody, it was it's your job." And they were kind of it was a little bit different, but yeah, they all. Some of them give different pitches, but I think you all gave me the best.
Yeah.
What number are you going to get? Do you know?
They told me they gave me 3 numbers. I said 3, 7, and 9.
Okay.
And 3 is my favorite number, obviously. And I was 7 when I was younger, and then Joe Burrow is my favorite, and he's 9. So
yeah, it's a good favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll pass it back to you after this, Joey. But we talked about your dad a little bit before we came on air,
yes,
and you were saying that he played at LSU back in the day and stuff.
Sure.
What type of influence? I guess as a football player and just as a father figure, what kind of influence did he have in your life?
Yes, he taught me everything since I was young. He kind of brought me up. He never really made me play anything like that. He just kind of let me do what I wanted to. But once I found like I was focused, I mean, he took me anywhere I wanted to go. Work with any coaches, he took me everywhere. Any camp, he drive me anywhere. I mean, he kind of always been there for me. Took me anywhere I wanted to go and just helped me. If I wanted to go outside, throw some passes, he'd run routes. To this day, he'll go out there and run, just catch passes from me. If I ever need to talk to anybody about anything, I mean, he knows. He can tell me any coverage. He studied it all for 4 years straight with LSU. So he's just kind of, whatever I need help, he can help me with because he's done it all. If I need anything, he's there for me. So.
And him being a defensive guy, that's kind of an interesting dynamic. Kind of like Burrow's dad was a defensive coordinator, so he said that when they had those conversations, they would kind of pick each other's brain.
He studied the best college defenses for 3-4 years of his life, just going over SEC defenses all the time. So he definitely knows.
He kind of helped you understand where the defenses are, what they're thinking.
Yes, sir. He played safety too. That's like the main person you're trying to watch playing quarterback. So
yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So are you a big horse lover?
That's all I did for the first 12 years of my life. Every day I was just outside horses. I kind of got tired of it. I kind of like started finding out what sports really were when I was like 12. So I kind of was like, oh, this is a little bit more fun.
It has kind of be cool.
I mean, I can still go out there and go 12 for 12 ropes whenever I want to. I can still do it. But my sisters, they're really big into it.
They're really
right
good, yeah.
It's like all they do. Well, one little sister got homeschooled just so she could do that. Just go race every day.
But that has to be cool. I mean, when the stress and pressure gets on you, you can go for a horse ride. That probably has to.
Yes, sir. We got a bunch of horses at our house. We can go ride anytime. It's just 4-wheelers. My dad has a Honda shop. We can just we got the 4-wheeler tours at our house. You can just go do the tour whenever you want to. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yes, I've heard good things about that.
Mm-hmm. And did y'all have the LSU women's team out to your place?
I don't really know all that stuff that goes on out there. I think we had some team come out there. I think they might have been the LSU team. Some team came out there, but all kind of people come out there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You got enough to concentrate on.
Brock Purdy's parents came out there from the 49ers. My dad called me. He was like,
"Oh, wow.
Do you know Brock Purdy? Like quarterback for the 49ers?" He said, "His parents are out here right now." I'm like, "How did you not know who that
is?" Sorry, Dad.
Crazy.
That's pretty fun. Yeah. Like he's a manager at Kmart or something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is wild. But how do you think you've gotten better as a quarterback?
I got a quarterback coach, Wyatt Davis. He's probably the best quarterback coach in Mississippi, I think. He's worked with some really good guys. And I work with him every Monday, and he got me a lot with my footwork and stuff like that. But Coach King, he kind of like, if you're a quarterback around the Mississippi and you want to play for a good coach, it'll get you better. Coach King's a guy. I mean, he kind of taught me, he's like, even all that quarterback stuff you do is like, you got to be a player, just play. Like, you got to get the ball out fast. If it's not there, run it. So you just kind of, Coach King helped me a lot. And my quarterback coach, Wyatt Davis, they both helped me out tremendously, get me better.
Does Coach King have any hobbies, or is he just a football man?
I mean, he's Coach King is really like the coolest guy you'll ever meet. Like,
he is a great guy.
He's so like the funniest person.
He seems like he's just football and then football.
Coach King's like the funniest person. He makes like jokes and stuff. He's the funniest. He's the coolest dude.
Yeah, sometimes I can't tell if he's joking or serious.
No, he's the funniest person. Like, he's really so funny.
He keeps it pretty light.
Oh, yeah, I love him. He's I'll do anything for him.
What you gonna major in at UL? You decided?
I told him business, but I'm not for sure yet. We're just kind of football right now, kind of my major. We'll see.
Yeah. So. You have any idea what you might want to do after football? Have you thought about any of that type of stuff?
I got the Honda shop and stuff like that. I might try to run that, but I want to stay in football somehow. Some might like help coaching or something like that. So it's just football. It's like I love football. I mean, if I could just throw a football every day of my life, I'd be the happiest person in the world. That's just football. Just throwing a football. It's just like satisfying. It's awesome. It's like my safe spot. Just throwing a football, working out.
What advice would you have for any of the, if you were giving advice to freshmen high schoolers right now to get to where you are right now with these opportunities? What advice would you give them?
Go play for Coach King at ACCS. I mean, he can get you anything. Like, he has more connections than anybody in Mississippi. He knows everybody. He's the best. And definitely got to put the work in. And if all the work pays off, no matter what, like, if you put the work in, it'll come out how you want it to. And just never give up. Because, I mean, I had times in ninth grade. I remember my first ever pass in ninth grade. I was Coach King. Coach King was like, you're my guy for the next 4 years. And I was like, yes, sir. And my first high school pass, I threw an interception. I was like, man, I don't know about this. But then the rest after that game, I went like, I was like my only incompletion that game. I threw like 4 touchdowns, and I was like, all right. But just definitely never give up. You just got to put the work in. It's going to pay off for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is there one game next year you're really looking forward to or going to?
We'll play Missouri week 4. I'm definitely ready to go. Like just being at SEC Stadium, I think it's gonna be cool. Even if I'm on the sidelines, just in the SEC Stadium,
Yeah.
watching it on, you've been watching it on TV. All these SEC teams, just being in an
Cool.
SEC Stadium would be pretty cool. I feel like.
Their defensive line coach.
Yeah, he's
was
from around here.
prepared, yeah.
Yes, sir.
The guy from Missouri.
Al
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah. Man, Missouri's had a
Now,
good little
10
run.
10
yeah.
win seasons the last like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Got Luther Burden for the first round pick. They're good. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Who are some of the sports role models that you've had? I know you mentioned Burrow.
Yeah, Burrow's definitely. I love watching Burrow. And, the guy I like watch, like kind of like made my game after. If you should really watch me, like Johnny Manziel, like I just like love the way he played, just like running around, just making plays. He's I just love the way he played. But then
On the field.
yeah, on the field, off the field he's not the best guy, but on the field, on the field,
Don't do Johnny Manziel.
I used to watch Johnny Manziel highlights before like every game. So it's just like so entertaining. I feel like I kind of play like him a little bit. Burrow, I've met Burrow a couple times. I remember I went to a Manning Passing Academy a couple years ago, and like Trevor Lawrence, all these guys were there. Everybody was kind of going crazy. It was like before Burrow had like the Burrow year. Everybody was like Trevor Lawrence, Tua, all this stuff, and I was like, I'll go take a picture with Joe Burrow, I guess. And I was there with Joe Burrow, and that was after that he was kind of like crazy. And I met him. I hung out with his parents at the Peach Bowl when LSU won the beat Oklahoma that year.
I was there too.
Yeah,
you were in Atlanta?
Yes, sir. I was
Okay,
there. It was
yeah.
awesome. He killed Oklahoma.
Yeah, 49-7 at
Yeah.
halftime.
Josh Jefferson had like 5 touchdowns. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Did you go to the Manning camp?
I went to it for like first, like my 8th grade through like, I went there for like 2 years, 8th and 9th grade year. Yes, sir.
Who'd you meet there or some of the guys?
It's just all, that's really the best part, just meeting all the quarterbacks. I mean, it was like Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence,
Wow.
Will Rogers, just like everybody was there.
Do they throw a lot there?
Yeah, they have like one day they just all work out. Joe Bill was there one day, he could throw it 80 yards. It was crazy. Justin Herbert was chunking it too, but Eli Manning, my first year was like Eli Manning. I think he just retired, so he still had like a cannon he was throwing too. It was pretty awesome.
Is there a difference? Like, can you see like that difference with your eyes whenever those guys are throwing the ball? Or
It just looks like so smooth. Like everything they look looks like it's perfect. It's like so smooth. Never a bad spiral. It's always just like just looks so perfect.
they're just so technical
Yeah,
at
it
what
looks
they
just
do.
awesome. Especially the Mannings, they just do everything perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do they discuss the NIL with you, or how you go
They
about
give
it?
everybody gets like a good amount a month, and then kind of like how you do on the field, like you get like extra. That's pretty much how it is. Everybody gets like their own stuff though.
What a weird time to be.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did that come up a lot, like during your recruiting and
I
stuff?
wasn't worried
or-
about that. I was
You-
no matter what, everybody gets like their own amount, like
yeah.
money. Yes, sir. Like especially like the scholarship people.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts, just as a fan? Take yourself out of the game. What are your thoughts on the new rules in college football
Yes.
and all of that? The
Definitely
transfer.
hurt. Like it's definitely hard. On some people that want to like walk on like something like that, 'cause they can just like find somebody else like in the transfer portal like that, and especially like incoming freshmen, because like the 2 seniors leave, they can just go find somebody else like that. Like they can bring anybody in. It doesn't matter. It's just definitely way more different than it used to be. But you gotta be good to play in it. So we'll see.
Yeah, now they're doing, you know, that ruling with the guy from Tennessee. I mean, from Vanderbilt. You know, giving him
Yeah,
extra time.
JUCO, yeah, you get like 2 years of JUCO.
To
like,
me,
from
that
town.
hurts the high
I
school.
know that's so bad now, because I'm sure like a bunch of people probably want to go JUCO now because like it don't even like hurt your eligibility at all. So
Yeah, to me,
crazy.
like it kind of it trickles down, and like now it's more difficult for
Yeah.
high school seniors to get those
offers anyway.
offers because
It's definitely-
now they're pretty much, some of those guys are forced to JUCO
Yeah.
now.
It's like quarter Vanderbilt, he's starting that year. I bet somebody behind him was probably like thinking he'll start the next year, and he comes back. So now you got to go find somewhere to go. So all that stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely harder now.
Joey, I guess I'll. We know we got to get back to school, so.
He said it's no hurry.
So my last question for you is just, what are you the most excited about? Just transitioning. You got some busy, life changing months ahead of you here.
Sure.
What are you most excited about?
I actually play football every day. That's like pretty much like my job, just to play football every day. I'm happy about that, and it's gonna be hard being away from the family all the time just because I'm with them like every single day. But it'll definitely be fun just playing football every day, and that's all I'm doing pretty much. But we'll see. Kind of like being on my own, I guess. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
In Lafayette.
Yeah. Well, and before I pass Joey the last question, my only piece of advice in the Lafayette area is you have to drive over to Scott, Louisiana, and go to Best Stop. Get the seasoning, get the boudin, get all of it. The Best Stop is my spot.
I think me and my dad might have stopped there on the way home. I know we stopped somewhere, got some boudin. It was legit.
You got Billy's over there and all that, but the seasoning, the Best Stop seasoning, man, it's a little hole in the wall right off the interstate in Scott, but it's legit. I'll drive from here to just go get seasoning and make a trip out of it. So don't eat too much of the boudin, but
the food there. I mean, that's like always they fed us so much. I was like, dude, holy cow! It was all so good too. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, Joe, you want to get us out of here?
Yeah, just kind of tell us what your process now is over the spring, working out as far as getting ready to when you report.
When I signed to UL, they sent me a 103-page packet to like workouts. I was like, oh. So I'm gonna be doing that over the spring for sure. And then we got baseball. I'm probably gonna run track again this year, sir. And I'm playing on the golf team too. I mean, some of my buddies.
All right.
Yes, sir. So I'll be working out for sure, getting ready. I still be throwing the football every Monday with my quarterback coach, just getting ready to go in. Yes, sir.
No, I'm glad you got to play under Stanley Smith. He's always a favorite of mine.
He's definitely a different changer. He comes in. He was definitely like more serious and like he made us. He's like experienced all the stuff from playing from high school all the way like professionals. He kind of
a UL guy right there.
Yeah, I mean, he played with Coach Des too, my head coach. So but yeah, Coach Des he's a man. He's taught me a bunch of stuff too because he's just experienced it all. He keeps everything for like really. If you want some advice from anybody, you can ask him. He'll tell you. He's experienced everything. He can tell you anything. He's awesome, yes, sir. I'm glad I got to play for him. Yes, sir. I love Coach Des.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming in, and we look forward to following you for the next few years, and
yes, sir.
Hopefully you'll graduate from there and go lead the Saints to a Super Bowl. They're looking for a quarterback right now, aren't they?
That'd be pretty sweet. That is a dream.
Yeah. So we appreciate you though, man, and we wish you the best of luck. Great young man and great leader and all of that stuff. So have no doubt you'll do awesome things in life, man.
Sure, sure.
So we appreciate you.
Sure. Thank you all.
Thank you, bud.
And we'll be right back for some little college football talk about the Final Four, and then wrap this thing up.
Hey y'all, it's Ronnie and Shannon with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight.
And we want to tell you about our awesome partner, J.E. Hicks Distributing Company, also known as Hicks Chicks.
Hicks Chicks is a local, family-owned food distribution company that has been serving the Miss Lou since 1945. You already know they serve all of your favorite restaurants, but did you know that they are also open to the public?
Hicks Chicks has a variety of food products, including delicious heat and eat options like chicken and dumplings, white bean chicken chili, lasagna, and gumbo. They also carry a wide variety of seafood options like shrimp, crabs, tuna steaks, salmon, and catfish.
And don't forget about their delicious burgers that are already pattied up for you, and their amazing dessert options.
So stop by today at 1380 Martin Luther King Jr. Road in Natchez. Hicks Chicks.
Way more than just chicken.
Hey guys, Ronnie Calhoun here with Miss Lou Champion Spotlight, and I want to tell you about our awesome partners, Wardo's Po' Boys. Wardo's was created in honor of Allen Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country. We want to tell you about our champion partners, Gregg Vet Clinic, Hicks Chicks, Syrah Technologies, Kenny Chesney's Blue Chair Bay Rum, J&J Flooring and Natural Stone, Concordia Bank, and all of our awesome partners that you see on the screen right now. Make sure to do business with them and tell them Miss Lou Champion sent you. All right, guys, we are back after a great episode, man, with, a great segment with Coleman Carter. Man, that was interesting. A lot of stuff he said. What a great young man.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just the poise and presence he presents. I'm very impressed with. I was lucky to have him.
Yeah, he's the same as we've said as a lot of the young men and women who have came on our program. I want to definitely give it. You could tell that there's some great parenting there, and you could tell that there's some great mentorship from the schools and all of that. So, so many of the kids that have come in have handled themselves so well, and no exception here. I mean, he's certainly prepared for that next step in his life.
Absolutely.
So,
really enjoyed that.
There's a lot of anything stand out to you that we talked about.
I mean, just the way he just handles everything and his thoughts and how much he puts into everything. And it's well-rounded.
Yeah.
And I believe he can contribute right away.
Yeah. He has the confidence, and that's what it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not false confidence. He's got the tools to back it up. So.
And some of the people he was telling us, that he's worked with or met, I mean, I'd be in awe. And it's, he's obviously, hey, that's pretty cool, but he's like, hey, I can be that one day.
Yeah, and I never, I guess, I don't know his dad very well. I know who he is, and I know he's a great guy in the community and everything, but I don't think I've ever really sat down and talked to him too much, just in passing. But I didn't realize that he played for LSU, safety on some of those teams.
Back with Donardo.
Yeah. So got it in his blood, got it honest.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So before we get out of here, I wanted to talk to you. We've got the Final Four. We've been through the playoffs since we came on last. Some things we expected. The Notre Dame game, I guess you could say, maybe was a little bit unexpected.
Right.
I would say that the unexpected part for the Notre Dame Georgia game isn't that Georgia lost, because I don't think Georgia I don't think they were that great this year offensively, or they weren't the same defensive team. But I think the surprising thing to me, and other people out there may disagree with this, but I thought Notre Dame was the more physical team.
They were.
Both offensively and defensively. I thought if you took the uniforms off and it was just white uniforms versus black uniform, and you didn't see that name, you would have been like, well, that's Georgia over there. Yeah. I mean, they just look more physical, more dominant team.
Yeah. And to me, all the off the field troubles Georgia's had, and I think that discipline carries over to your football team too, because they showed a lot of undiscipline during the year, and I just that catches up to you.
And we've talked about this earlier in the year, but the days of stacking 2 deep and 3 deep with 5 stars, those days are over.
They're done.
So those Alabama runs that we saw, and even this little Georgia mini run that we saw, I mean, every team is going to be different every year now. There's no more until things change. There's no more building a program. Mm-hmm. It's just building next year's team, and then building next year's team.
I like what Penn State coach James Franklin was saying. Everybody should play a conference championship game. Everybody should play the same number of games, and it has to be changed. And obviously we know that, but he had some good ideas. I saw him in 2011 at SEC Media Days, his first year at Vanderbilt. Me and Jake went, and man, when he got up on the podium, I was like, wow, this guy is sharp. He's good. And so I'm not surprised to see what he's doing.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, wow, either Notre Dame or Penn State's going to be in the championship game, which, it's the new system, man. And for parity purposes, it's great.
Yeah.
But for fans who like to follow players for a few years, and it's just tough because it's like, I don't know who's on LSU and who's not now. If you don't read on it every day, you
You look up a week later, you're like, oh, yeah, that guy's gone. That guy's gone.
Who's this guy?
We got this guy from over here. Yeah, I mean, but it is what it is. And what do you think about the games?
I'm looking forward. It should be 2 great games. Of course, we got Penn State and Notre Dame. That's in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah.
And
how do you see that playing out?
I like Penn State. It's going to be a physical game. Hard Rock Stadium's a good place for it because, man, it's going to be some hard hits in that game. Of course, you know my track record. Everybody don't take Penn State. But Texas, Ohio State, obviously Texas is not as fine-tuned as they seemed to be earlier in the year. Ohio State certainly in the groove now. It's hard to go against them.
Did you? I overlooked one of the unexpected, the biggest unexpected. Did anybody on earth see Ohio State jumping out to a 34-0 lead on Oregon?
No.
Wow.
No.
I was watching that, and Melissa and Marley were shopping at Green Hills in Nashville, and I said, well, I found a little sports bar in the mall, and I said, I'm going to go watch a game while y'all shop. And I was sitting beside some Ohio State fans, and even those guys were going, oh, my goodness, like nobody saw it coming. But, yeah, I think – and then another kind of interesting dynamic with that game right now is the weather that's happening everywhere.
No kidding.
But there's so many Ohio State fans that are like, we can't even get to Texas right now. So the tickets have went from here in price to here. So there's going to be a lot more Texas fans than it would have been in regular weather. So it's going to be much more of a Texas home game than a neutral game.
Yeah.
But you've got Ohio State right now looking like a bus. Man. If I had to make my predictions on the games this weekend, I would say Notre Dame in a close one, and I would say Ohio State. Man, I would be highly surprised if Texas beats Ohio State.
Yeah, same here.
I would say Ohio State by 7-10. And then I would say Ohio State. Right now, if you're Ohio State, you're playing with house money. Something clicked after that Michigan game. Those cornerbacks that they have, those wide receivers they have, they're the best team roster-wise in college football.
And it's kind of strange seeing these guys with speed and because, it's always been physical. But, man, they got athletes.
Yeah, and that one wide receiver, I forget all their names these days, but that one wide receiver they have is, he's going to be a beast for years to come in the NFL. So, but, yeah, anything else you want to add to the college talk?
Oh, that should do it, man.
Saints are looking for a new coach.
Yeah.
You
need to be looking for a new general manager.
Be looking for a lot of new stuff, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But all right, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you.
You too,
coming in. We appreciate Coleman Carter. Thank you to all of our awesome partners out there who make these shows possible. Without you guys, we can't do what we do. I think we're going to be adding some great new partners here very soon too. Thank you to all of our viewers out there. Our 2024 numbers looked amazing, and our 2025, we've got some new stuff prepared for you too. So thank you for the continued support. God bless everybody out there. Happy New Year. And as always, have a champion day.
Even you, Dustin.
Even Dustin.